The dormitory was cloaked in darkness, with only the faint glow of the hallway lights seeping through the doors. It was a well known fact that escaping the dorms after curfew was nearly impossible. But was it going to stop her? One glance at the clock on her nightstand. It was almost midnight. She quickly grabbed her phone and sent a text to her best friend. I am ready. A few moments later, her phone buzzed with his reply. Let's do this. Ryan took a deep breath and quietly opened her window. She looked down at the ground below, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Just doing this always made her feel like a rebel. Just then, she heard a soft whistle and looked up to see her best friend, Jungkook, standing in the shadows, a mischievous glint on his face. Jungkook, hi, monkey. Fine, says the one hanging by the tree. The look on Jungkook's face made her smirk. Wine, 1. Jungkook, 0. She climbed out of the window. She then extended her hand, which he took firmly in his. There was it. Their trust in each other that nothing could break. Jungkook pulled her on the tree beside himself and wrapped his arm around her waist. Wine easily climbed on his back and wrapped her arm around his neck. She ruffled his hair. Oh, Jungkook hated it. Every time someone messed with his hairstyle. Hearing the growl from him confirmed it. Too bad. He couldn't do anything while he was trying to get them both down to ground safely. Wine 2, Jungkook 0. Once she reached the ground, Wine jumped off him and sprinted off. Jungkook ran after her. As soon as they were away from her dome, Jungkook yelled, Jungkook, you can't escape me. They sprinted across the lawn, sticking to the shadows. Just as they reached the fence, they heard footsteps approaching. Jungkook quickly pulled Wine behind a large tree, covering her mouth, while his hand to keep her away from making any noise. They breathed heavily, their chests heaving down due to the earlier running. Wine looked up at him, focused on finding who was around. They may be away from the door building, but still had to cross the main gate. Mr. Park strolled past, his flashlight sweeping the area. He was the old guard of the dorms. Jungkook moved closer to Wine, making their existence smaller than before. Wine could feel the way his heart was pounding in his chest as he slowly removed the hand off her mouth. Wine, that was close, she whispered, once Mr. Park was at a safe distance. Jungkook looked down at her. They were too close. If it were not the height difference, they might as well be kissing right now. Jungkook saved you. His smirk expression was wiped off him when she pinched his arm. Wine, don't yell next time. If we get caught, it would be your fault. He groaned, even when he knew she was just teasing him. Wine 3. Jungkook 0. Jungkook, I can't believe this. She chuckled quietly as she walked ahead, more careful than before. The two got to the other side of the gate quietly. Good that Mr. Park was not guiding it at this hour. Jungkook walked after her with his hands in his pockets, maintaining a little distance, a smile on his lips as he watched her happy. If defeating him made her happy, then he was ready to lose to her for the rest of his life. Ryan, where shall we go tonight? Jungkook, don't you want to study together? Ah, Jungkook, you know, I can't study in this suffocating place. I need fresh air. She scrunched her nose, but when she turned to him, she simply shrugged. Wine, can't do that on empty stomach. Jungkook, yeah, I knew already. To the lake we go. He walked past her, ruffling her hair on the way. Wine, I'll treat you tonight. Rest assured, little boy. She instantly picked up the pace, walking past him now, ruffling his hair on the way. The only difference was she had to get on her tiptoes for that. He stopped on his track. He knew she was smirking. Wine 4, Jungkook 0. Once they reached the market, it was buzzing with people and crowd, like as if it was not midnight right now. They loved this about the city. It never slept. Vine thought she paid for the snacks with her card, yet Jungkook easily swiped it with his while she was not looking. They went to the lake next, sitting down beside it. The moonlight reflected through the water. The stars were visible, and it overall was a place people would rather visit on dates. Such a perfect romantic spot. Ryan, hey, I hate to tell you something. Jungkook. Mm-hmm. He looked at her attentively, not like she wasn't his center of attention, whether or not she is in front of him. She took a bite of her burger, and Jungkook poured some ketchup on her burger for the next bite. Ryan, I was called in the office today. They told me if I'm able to secure my GPA, they might be able to send me to England on full scholarship. A smile crept on his lips before the possibility of losing her attacked his heart. They had been together for as long as their memory worked. Ryan, I'm happy, and I know I can do it. It's such a big opportunity, but my mind keeps going back to you. I've never done anything alone. He smiled, though his heart felt like it was being shattered into pieces, as he held her hand softly. Jungkook, I'll find you wherever you go. It's a lifetime opportunity, Ryan. Go for it. It was as if that was all she needed to hear. A smile of relief appeared on her lips as she nodded and continued munching on her snacks. He shifted his eyes on the lake. The moon reflected on the water, and suddenly he felt loneliness eating him away. She was beside him, but he knew next moment he won't have her. Maybe he didn't have to overreact, but he was too used to her. His days were incomplete without her. Ryan, if you ever get my call, don't pick up. I'm packing my bags and coming right back. You know I'm not lying. He chuckled and ruffled her hair. Jungkook, I dare not. That's never happening. Ryan, oh, reminds me, I had something to show you. She stood up, grabbing her bag, and took out a box. Ryan, I found it in your car. What's it? Jungkook widened his eyes and stood up. Jungkook, you're not supposed to pick up things without telling me. He panicked, and it only made her more curious than before. She instantly moved the box behind her back and stepped back. Ryan, what is it? Now I wanna see. Jungkook, give it back, Ryan. That's not right. He stepped forward. Ryan, stop. Don't come near me, or I'll throw it in the lake. She moved her hand over the lake, and Jungkook immediately stopped, as if her heart was in his hand. Ryan, why are you like this? That's exactly why I want to say it. He gulped and sprinted towards her. She screamed, and in that instant, the box fell out of her hand and right into the lake. Before Ryan could react or apologize, he was already out of his shoes and shirt and into the lake. Did she mess with the wrong thing? Now she had started to feel bad. He was quick to grab the box before it got lost. When he came out of it and looked at Ryan, she had wide eyes, shocked expressions, and hands still in air. Jungkook, hey, it's okay. When he followed her eyes down to his chest, he gulped and balled his fist. She had seen it, the tattoo in his chest of her name. She slowly stepped near him and raised her fingertip over the tattoo. Then she took the box from his hand and opened it. This time he didn't stop her. There was a diamond ring inside of it. It took her ability to breathe or function properly. Wine 0, Jungkook 100. Jungkook, I can't run away from it anymore now. Can I? Wine, where were you even running away? She whispered and looked up at him. Wine, I was scared. If I left to UK, I might lose you to someone else. Jungkook held her hand and intertwined their fingers, taking a step near her. Jungkook, you're never going to lose me. That too. To someone else? You think anyone stand to your level? He then got down on his knee and held out the ring in front of her. Jungkook, I have you since I opened my eyes. My days start and end with you. I don't think I can ever function without you. Will you be mine? While will you let me hold on to you like this forever? She extended her hand. A tear formed in her eye. How stupid of her. To be sad feeling she might lose while this idiot was roaming around with her name literally graved over his heart. He slipped the ring in her finger and stood up, wrapping his arm around her. He picked her off the ground and kissed her. She returned the kiss as she closed her eyes, right beside the lake, under 100 stars and the full moon, which witnessed their love. Jungkook, I love you. May these stars be forever proof of that. She smiled, and they shared another kiss, sharing the love and feelings they held for each other for so long.